You know, for a legendary summon, this isn't that bad. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Global Dokkan Part 2 legendary summon for the Dokkan Festival Yamcha Spring Celebration. As expected, we are getting a rerun banner of a legendary summon. Not quite the top legendary summon that we predicted, but still with the main LRs that we assumed were on the banner. And looking at the banner itself, it's honestly not that bad. So, in this video, we're going to go ahead, take a look at the banner, and decide whether or not you should summon on this banner. So, first off, as always, whenever we decide whether or not you should summon on a banner, we have a couple considerations to go through. Number one, we take a look at the main featured units of the banner, determine whether or not that unit is worth your summon, if it's a new unit. Then we take a look at the banner itself, determine whether or not the banner, it justifies a summon, and then we look at what lies ahead to determine whether or not to summon. If all three pass the check, then we go ahead and give the go-ahead for the summon. So let's go ahead and start by looking at the units on the banner. Because this is not a new banner, we don't have one specific new unit to look at. So what we're actually going to do here is look at the featured characters here. Specifically the main draw, right? This is the first return on Global of the LR, Goku, and Piccolo that exchange into a standalone Piccolo. I would say this is the main draw because they've only shown up once before and they haven't been featured on any other LR banner before this, unlike Kaioken Goku, who has been featured on like a Carnival banner. This has pretty much been the first time we've had another chance at pulling this guy, unless we pulled him on like the step-ups or any unfeatured pulls, right? So they are Saiyan Saga Battle of Wits, category key for HP attack defense 150%. They get attack defense 100% plus an additional defense 200% when HP is 50% or more. They get key 5 and an additional attack 90% and guard all attacks for 5 turns from the start of turn. They launch additional super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack as the first attacker in the turn. They also get an additional 30% attack when performing an ultra super attack and an additional attack 70 when activating the active skill or when key is 24. Their active skill can be activated when they receive 7 or more attacks in battle or when HP is 50% or less starting from the 4th turn. It will greatly raise attack, cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and disables the enemy action. Basically launches the special beam cannon and exchanges into Piccolo, right? Once it switches into Piccolo, he then recovers 10% HP at the start of the turn. He gets key 3, attack defense 100%, then an additional key 3 at defense 100% with 3 or more key spheres obtained. He gets an additional 100% when performing an ultra super attack and 50% HP if he has 50% HP or more when performing an ultra super attack. He also gets an additional attack 50%. He also disables the attacked enemy's action once within the turn when he gets his 24 key. He is raising defense infinitely on his 12 key and massively raising attack on his 18 key. So all in all, they are a really good and powerful LR. Probably the best featured LR on the banner. Kaioken Goku is still pretty good, still pretty powerful, but he is limited to having most of his power locked behind facing a Vegeta unit. Not to say that he can't be powerful. In the end, Goku, Piccolo are still have their uses, but also I don't believe they have a 200% team just yet, so they are not looking that great comparatively to this guy. This guy got a huge buff with the likes of the LR superhero Piccolo, as well as the Carnival Goku, the STR Carnival Goku. So they actually have a lot of uses, especially being on the Battle of Wits category, which is a major category for the Cell Red Zone event. So all in all, I mean, if you were somebody down and you really missed this LR and he's one of your favorite LRs, I would say if that was your justification for summoning, then go right ahead. There is a 40 stone multi-summon discount for the first summon, so I mean, it couldn't hurt to do the first 40, but then I would honestly say back off from there, because while they are a good character, you definitely have to be careful with some of this stuff. So, as far as the main featured character, even though they aren't in front, they are probably the better featured character. Moving on, taking a look at the rest of the banner, right? We have the Kaioken Goku, we have the Fizz Goku Piccolo, we have the Int Goku Piccolo, but we also have a bunch of more modern banner units. I'm actually very surprised. Usually the pool is pretty bad for the general pool units here, but honestly they aren't that bad. Aside from the Goten and Trunks here, everybody else here actually has, well, I guess, and the Tech Piccolo here, everybody else here has some major uses, right? STR Piccolo is featured on the banner. I cannot tell you how good of a thing that is if you're somebody who missed this guy on Cooler's banner or on Carnival Goku's banner when he was featured there. Like, this guy is an amazing pickup if you happen to get him in your summon. So him being featured is really good. The Gotenks here still has some really good uses on Super Battle Roll, being that he has an area of effect stunning ability. The Krillin can be good against certain movie boss type characters, but he's definitely fallen off a bit, but he's still a decent support unit. The Goten, again, another decent enough support unit if you're somebody who likes to just kind of play around with units and push their limits, right? 40% support unit. He's not that bad. He's Gifted Warriors support unit, so but you know, he's not going into any red zone events. But the rest of these guys are kind of not that good. The Super Saiyan, Trunks and Goten, the Krillin and Gohan, and the Piccolo aren't that great, but the rest are decent enough. So all in all, the banner itself for a legendary summon, again, I'm comparing this to other standard legendary summons that we get on Global. It's honestly not that bad of a banner. It could be much worse. I'm thinking like the Frieza and Jiren one we got last year. Oh, that was so much worse. Even Frieza's, AGL Frieza's banner earlier this year was so much worse than this. So, I mean, that considered, it's not that bad of a banner for a legendary summon. Now, of course, we have to give our final consideration, and that is what lies ahead. If you spend stones on this banner, what are you giving up, right? First and foremost, we have two characters who are likely to return next month on the Dual Dokkan Fest, and that is given that usually the New Year's units on JP return on Golden Week, which is coming up in about 2 to 3 weeks here. So we can safely assume Global will probably get them as well, and that is the return of the LR Ultimate Gohan and the LR Piccolo on the Dual Dokkan Fest. There is a very high likely chance that they will show up, meaning that if you spend stones on this banner, you're giving up stones spent on the Golden Week banners, which could net you a copy of Gohan or Piccolo. So something to keep in mind. That said, summoning on this banner would also mean giving up a summon on, where is it here? The anniversary banners. Every Should You Summon video has ended with us reminding you that in July, these two banners are coming, and they are some of the best banners in the game, right? We have the 8 anniversary units, we have the 7 anniversary units, we have last year's worldwide units, the AGL Super Saiyans and the Cooler, we have the Gammas, right? We have the Gogeta and Vegito, who are getting an easy A. We have the Buhan and Vegito, who I'm willing to bet are going to easy A worldwide this year. They might not, but either way, it's still a very LR heavy banner and some really, really good units featured. So again, a summon on this banner, even just that 40 zones, is a summon you're giving up here on these two banners, right? So you have to keep that in mind. Another consideration you should make is that the part 2 of the 8th anniversary has 2 Carnival LR banners where the main featured units here are actually featured, right? The Goku and Piccolo are featured on the LR Int Gohan's banner here, along with AGL Golden Frieza, Metal Cooler, Great Ape Vegeta, the GT Trio and Krillin and Gohan. So, I mean, if you were after Goku and Piccolo, this is probably the much better banner for you to summon on, right? Even though it is months away, right? Same goes for the Kaioken Goku. If you were after Kaioken Goku, right, on the AGL Goku banner, who, by the way, is phenomenal, it also has him featured on his banner, along with the Int Exchange Vegeta, the Goku and Gohan, Int Zamasu, and Birdku, right? Like, so, I mean, these are the Part 2 banners for the anniversary, and, I mean, if you were after those two LR characters that are featured on this banner, it's probably a much, much better use of your stones. The only reason I would consider this banner over the Carnival LR banners is if you're somebody who is chasing yellow coins. As we've seen since last year on the... I think since worldwide, right? Yellow coin banners have been very, very sparse on Global Dokkan. This is the second one besides EZA banners that we've had since worldwide. So that would be the only really consideration you would have to make for this banner, is that just maybe you're someone who needs to build some yellow coins. But even then, I wouldn't spend so much. So putting all of that together, my recommendations: summoning for the character. Goku and Piccolo are good. Arguably, for yellow coin LRs, they're still pretty up there. I mean, I would put them in the top 10 of yellow coin LRs, not including some easy A's. So they are definitely really, really good. But I cannot recommend summoning for them over a character like, say, Golden Frieza or Zamasu, who are arguably better, even if like Zamasu's team is a bit limited. Second, looking at the banner itself, I can't really give a recommendation on the banner, even though the banner is good. The STR Piccolo does kind of really weigh in the favor of this banner, but again, summoning on this banner means giving up on possible Golden Week banners for this guys, and giving up 8th anniversary summon banner. So definitely a big no on that part. And the final consideration, as you've probably figured out by the recommendation for what lies ahead, is that, you know, again, knowing that the 8th anniversary is just a few months away, I cannot give a good recommendation to summon on this banner, even though the banner is kind of good. Goku Piccolo are good. Kaioken Goku is still kind of fun to use. I just cannot do it knowing what lies ahead. And, you know, we don't even know how LR Super Buu on JP, his banner is going to look. His banner might be 10 times better, but knowing that both of the featured characters are on the Carnival banners for the anniversary, I would definitely say that makes this banner a big old fat no-go on the summon. So anyways, guys, that is just my recommendation for the banner. I do understand that there are discounts. I still don't think that makes it worth it, so definitely steer clear of this banner if you can. Keep in mind that per the in-game news, there is free tickets being handed out for the banner. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you really want to scratch that summon itch, just wait till the 18th when we can get the free tickets, and then do your summon then. And then, you know, save your stones, right? That's the best recommendation I can give. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, do you agree with my recommendation? Do you disagree? Are you someone who's really been chasing that Goku Piccolo like I have? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.